Welcome to TNT Sports Network, where it's all sports all the time. I'm Tom, and he's Tom, and thanks for joining us today.
I feel like you're yelling. I'm gonna need you to take it down a little bit. My ear's ringing now.
I do yell. The intro is something exciting, Tom.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to a preview, prediction, and bet show for Wimbledon 2021.
Yes. So, they start this Monday.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Very excited. I mean, considering I feel like the French Open just ended like a week and a half ago, I kind of wish there was more time between it. But yes, I'm very excited. Very, very excited to be here. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You're new on the show.
Yes, pleasure. First time, long time.
So, you used to play tennis.
Yes.
So, this is kind of dear to your heart, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, this
You have some questions, I feel like.
this series is this tournament.
It's not a series.
It's not a
not
series.
baseball.
It's not a series. It's not the World Series.
Not the World Series, no.
This tournament is played on grass, Tom.
Yes, correct.
And, you know, what do you think there's a difficult transition for players coming from the French Open, from playing on clay, coming to play on grass, especially how the grass deteriorates?
Yeah, so it's a completely different playing surface. You can't have two more polar opposite playing surfaces.
Yeah.
You play on the clay, and you're going to have, like, it's going to play slower, but the ball is going to bounce higher.
Yeah.
And, like, you play on that for, like, a month or so, and you get used to it, especially if you make, like, a deep run into the French Open, you're playing the full 2 weeks. And then you get to Wimbledon, and the ball's going to move faster on the court, but it's going to barely bounce at all. It's going to be low to the ground, so you're going to have to really practice more of your ground strokes and keep the ball low than just like backing up and trying to get some power behind it.
Yeah. Now, we pulled up an interesting photo. Maybe we'll find it. We'll put it up here. The grass is basically gone.
Yeah,
where they're standing.
Yeah, so when you start the first round, it's going to look pristine, beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, and then
the lines are in it.
Yeah, and then the more players play on it, and the more running back and forth you do at the baseline, the less grass ends up being there, and the more dirt it looks like.
Have you ever played on grass?
I've not.
Okay.
No. Here in the States, we're on
hard court.
We're on hard court, yeah. Okay. Much more hard court. Unless you're like a rich person and can afford to build a grass court in your backyard, you're basically growing up playing hard court.
I can't imagine that.
If I was rich, I'd have each court. I'd have a clay court, a grass court, a regular court.
One of each, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And then one person to maintain?
Yeah.
Or have a specialist?
No, I'd have a clay specialist, a grass specialist, and a hard court specialist.
Got it. So we're talking about how kind of grueling it is coming from clay over to grass. Mm-hmm. So much that Nadal kind of stopped. Yeah. And he said, "Hold up, I'm not playing."
Yeah.
Now he's opting out of this tournament and the Olympics. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Do you think it is truly the grass that's kind of screwing with him?
No.
Do you think he's just getting old?
So the tennis schedule is weird because you have your first major of the year in Australia.
Yeah.
In like January, February, right? And then you have a bunch of just like regular smaller tournaments.
Here and there.
Yeah. And then you have the French Open in May. And then you immediately have Wimbledon again in June.
Yeah. And
then normally you don't have anything until the U.S. Open in late August. So as far as major tournaments go.
Of course.
But this being an Olympic year, you have a major tournament now in May, June, and July.
Yeah.
And that can definitely be grueling, especially that turnaround from the French Open to Wimbledon is so quick. It literally comes like this.
So do you think Nadal is holding out for the U.S. Open?
Well, yes, and I think he's doing this because he's dealt with a lot of injuries in the past, a lot of lower body injuries, legs, back issues, and he's just kind of trying to maintain his freshness. And he knows he's literally tied with Roger Federer for the most major tournament wins of all time.
Yeah.
So like he knows like he can become the number one player of all time. He can outlast Federer because he's younger than Federer.
Yeah.
And so he just needs to keep his body in shape so he gives himself more of a chance to win more tournaments down the line. He's not going to sacrifice his career for a 3 tournament stretch when he can try and prolong his career for a couple more years down the line.
Yeah. Now, so is Nadal a traditional grass player?
No, Nadal is 100% a clay court player.
Got it.
He grew up on the clay courts of Spain, and he's the most dominant clay court player probably in the history of tennis.
Okay. So then, who is the best grass player?
Men's-wise, it's always been Roger Federer.
Got it.
Now, to me, Roger Federer is the greatest tennis player of all time. He's always been Wimbledon's always been every tournament is his tournament. But when you could always pencil in like Federer, Wimbledon champion pretty much, or Wimbledon's runner up. But with that being said, I mean, ever since Djokovic has also started his dominant run, he's been fantastic on grass. Some of the younger guys, because we kind of have a generational thing. We have the old guard of Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, and then we have the new guard. Some of those new guys are really good on grass. We have Zverev is really good on grass, Tsitsipas is really good on grass, and Medvedev is also really good. So those three are kind of names to look out for as pretty good grass players, or their game really fits playing on a grass surface.
Okay. And now, who do you have for women? That's probably your best.
For women, again, Serena's always been Serena's always in there.
I mean, that's the name that you hear.
Right. Serena is the Federer of women's tennis. Yeah. You could always pencil her in also. But again, like I said, you can pencil her in for every tournament. Like she dominates every major. So she's always been fantastic. Muguruza is a Wimbledon champion. She is another fantastic grass court player. Kerber, Konta, and Victoria Azarenka are a couple more that come to mind when I think of pretty good grass court players.
So we talk high profile names, right? Who is your under the radar players right now?
It seems like
who you're sitting there, you're like, they can win, but they're probably not. But like they're gonna make a fight for it.
So it seems like every video we do, I hype it up in Italian. I'm really not meaning to do this, but we're going back to it. Matteo Berrettini is a fantastic. He's like a grass court specialist. His form is really good. He's coming in as the 9th ranked player in the world, and he's got the, I think, under the radar type of player who his game fits really well, who could shock a bunch of people and kind of win this tournament. And especially if I haven't looked at how the draw shakes out, but if he gets in if he gets to face like Djokovic in like the semifinals or quarterfinals, that could be a really tough matchup for the world #1 player.
Okay. And do you have any women that can possibly that are under the radar that you?
So I don't know how under the radar it would be, but
because they're all pretty decent.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're in this tournament, you're going to be good.
Right. But I think the two, I believe they're both 20. One might be 19 or 20, 21. They're in that area. But Swiatek out of Poland, she is she's really just improving her game all around.
Okay.
And her grass court game seems to be getting better, and she can definitely make a run. And Bianca Andreescu, another Canadian, well, not another Canadian, a Canadian, is really, she has an all-around good, she was looked at as like a phenom, and she's just been dealing with injury after injury. So if she's not injured and she's healthy in this tournament, she fits well on grass. She fits well everywhere, but grass she can really do well. She just has to be healthy because she's just had a string of bad luck and injuries.
So we keep on talking clay, we keep on talking grass, we keep on talking about hard surface, right? What is your opinion on a professional sport having so many courts to play on? Now, we don't sit here and watch basketball and we're like, oh yeah, they're playing on asphalt tonight. What is your opinion on that?
It's weird because tennis is kind of a game where, similar to golf, when people who don't know golf look at they play the same course 4 rounds in a row, how do they not get bored of it?
Yeah, but there's different types of things in golf.
Right, and there's different types of things in tennis.
Okay.
You have the different courts to give you a different perspective. If you just played on hard court, the majority you play on is going to be hard court. But it's to me it's been like this for years, and it's a good way to just differentiate different tournaments and different types of players who grew up playing on different surfaces. It's just kind of a way to give it a different feel. So it's not just the boring, every day, all right, we're back on hardcore, bang, bang, bang. You play on clay. The best part of clay is when you win, you lay down and the clay is all over your back. Or, on grass. And, Wimbledon is special to grass. When you see grass, it's Wimbledon. You're in England. They're wearing all white. It's just that special feeling.
So what you're saying is that you can't wait for street hockey to start coming into play.
100%. All right, we're gonna take it down to the street. We're gonna put a couple nets. We're gonna have people bring their cars up and put the lights on so you can see what you're doing at night. Well, so excited for the NHL to go street.
With Islanders play, they have the car already there.
That is true.
So who do you have to pick to win the men's?
I really want to be contrarian, but I just can't. I have to go Novak. He's right now playing the best tennis out of everyone. He's the world #1. He's on a roll. I believe this will get him. If he wins this, he'll be tied with Federer and Nadal for most major championships, and it's just
so
he can't be stopped.
History can almost be coming in where now it's 3 kind of fighting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then women's pick.
I'm not going to be contrarian. Okay, I'm not going to go Serena. I'm going to go.
You gonna do the other Williams?
no, definitely not going Venus. I'm going to go. Hold on, let me take a look. I'm going to go Victoria Azarenka. Okay. I have no reasoning behind that other than I want to see her win this tournament, and I don't want to be contrarian for the women's side.
Okay. And now let's talk about bets. So I don't know what we're going to call this section.
Bets.
We're okay. Bets. Tom's bets.
TNT betting.
Yes.
We'll figure out a name for it. It'll be catchy.
Yeah.
If you have any good names, put them in the comment section below.
Of course. So who do you have? What are the best odds currently right now?
All right, so not all places currently have their Wimbledon bets, their Wimbledon odds set.
Okay.
If you go to oddschecker.com, that is where you'll be able to find. They'll kind of compare all the different sites' odds that you have. So for this, I went and I took the highest odds you can get on a player. So go there because the different sites have different odds. Novak is unbettable. All right, like I know I picked him to win the tournament, but he's basically even money. It's not worth it. There's too many variables that can go wrong for that. So the first one I have is Tsitsipas at 6-1 is a decent value. Again, I'm not crazy about betting a 6-1 winner, but I do think the Greek has some chance to win there.
Okay.
Medvedev, who I said was another one who I said was a good grass court player. I found it anywhere between 6-1 and 10-1. If you can get on the higher end of that spectrum, I love Medvedev. I think he has a legitimate chance to win this tournament. Zverev, another one who I said you can get him as high as about 16-1. Fantastic value, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. He's going to win a major. I think it'll be this one. And then our guy Matteo Berrettini, our upstart, you can get him anywhere to around 40-1. But I did see it as low as 14-1.
Okay.
Huge differential. 14-1, no bet. 40-1, hammer it. Go put like $2 on it.
Push the button.
Yes. And then I always like to throw a few bucks every tournament on Dominic Thiem. He can win. I want to put money on people who can actually win a tournament.
And how do you pronounce his last name?
Yes, because there's an English pronunciation and a German pronunciation, and they both are the same. And you can get him around 50-1. So just throwing a couple of bucks on a 50-1 will give you a nice payday if he can actually win the tournament. He's not a great grass player, but again, he has the skills where he can actually win any tournament he's in. Yep. For the women, we have Serena at 8-1. I mean, if you can get Serena at 8-1, go for it. She should win this tournament. If you can get her at 8-1, Muguruza at 12-1. Andreescu at 14-1, another great value. Azarenka, who I picked, at 21-1. And then a couple real long shots, not real long shots, but long shots in the value that I think can win. Yeah. Svitolina at 50-1, Joanna Konta at 60-1, and Angelique Kerber at 66-1. I think somebody out of that range will win this tournament, but what the heck do I know? That's all I
We're just two guys talking
sports.
At a camera.
At a camera. With no live studio audience. Yes. Anything else you got?
Nothing.
On that note, thanks for watching us here on TTSN. If you like the content, you want more sports content, different sports content, hit the like and forehand smash the subscribe button down the line. I'm Tom. He's Tom.
I'm Tom.
Yeah, he's Tom. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.